taking place at the plate boundaries. Okay, when the two plates collide, when the two plates collide, collide in the sense, when one plate touches with another plate. Look at my dear students, these are the two plates. When these two plates collide, okay, or this plate is moving, so this is the plate is stable one. So when these two plates collide, one plate dips under another plate instant. So in such a process, what happens, there will be destruction of the crust. Okay, the plate which is dipping into the mantle, that becomes molten due to the high temperature and excessive heat at the mantle, and the plate thus going into the mantle actually pulls the remaining part. It means that the plate which is dipped into the mantle due to the high temperature pulls the remaining part of the plate instant. So when this plate is pulled under the mantle, then other edge of the plate, what do we see? There will be expansion of the plate, right? And what is there on above the plate? There is what you call crust part is there, right? The top layer of the earth surface is crust, and that crust is removed, and that gets into folded and leading to the formation of the folded mountains. In this process only, Himalayan mountains have formed, my dear students. Right? In the last class, I said when you place your kerchief on the table, eh, then put two hands on the two edge of the kerchief. Pull what you call the kerchief with the two hands to closure. Then you will see that the kerchief getting folded. Right? In the same manner, when one plate dipped into the mantle, the other plate, which is rubbing or taking a friction on the dipping plate, will cut the what you call the soil, that what we call crust part, and the sediments which are on the dipping plate will be what you call taking into the foldings instead. When the crust part on the dipping plate, which goes inside the mantle, then magma which is inside the mantle, that is hot liquid, also comes up. As it comes up, it becomes cool and leads to forming the water mountains instead. So another part, we see that Himalayan mountains have formed in the process instead. So the here we see that our Indian plate is pushing into the what you call Eurasian plate instead. So that we see that at north part of India, Himalayan mountains have formed instead. Recently, we have seen earthquakes which occurred in Nepal and Pakistan, right? Nepal and Pakistan. They too also we see that our Indian plate subduct the Eurasian plate. What do you mean by subduct? It means that our Indian plate going under Eurasian plate. So this happens at every plate boundaries. Many of the plate boundaries also leading to the volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. So wherever the plates meet, there we find earthquakes, many more, and there we find highest geologic activity. There we see many volcanoes are what to call going to form instant. So నాకు కనబడతలేదా ఇప్పుడు కనబడాలి కదా wait, just wait my dear students. Mm, uh, okay now, right? Okay, dear students, continue class. Just a minute. Mm, so here, what I want to see that there, the Himalayan mountains have formed in the process of the plates meeting one to another, right? So, what you call the plate boundaries, the two plate boundaries will collide with one to another, and that leading to what you call highest geologic activity. Now we'll see that two types of movements: slow movements and what you call sudden movements of the plate. Right? One we have seen that two kinds of changes taken place on lithosphere. One is with a very slow movement. The slow movement leading to the formation of the crust. When the plates move very slowly, uh, then we will see that there one plate is dipping into the mantle, so the crust part which is on that dipping plate will collide and becomes the part of the mantle, right? And magma comes up from the mantle and leading to formation of the new crust. This is because of just a slow movement instead. And another movement is there, that is sudden movement. The sudden movement leads to eruption of volcanoes and earthquakes. Instead, the sudden movements can be destructive and causes much damages. That what we call it leads to forming earthquakes. Instead, see at the same time we see suddenly when the two plates, for example, when the two plates collide each other, or what you call inside the mantle there is a high temperature and all the materials are in molten form, right? Due to high temperature and the pressure which is in the mantle will get compressional force, and this compressional force will be generated in the mantle, and that will try to come out to the earth surface instead. So in that process we see that magma comes up from different places where the earth what to call interior is weak, understand, where the layers of the earth is weak. From that layers magma suddenly erupts out. Okay, then we see suddenly what when magma comes to earth's surface we call lava. So lava erupting into the atmosphere, understand, as it goes into the higher altitude it becomes cool and turns to solid form, forms there like a cone shape, that is called volcanic eruption. కనబడుతుందా ఫిగర్ లేదు? మూమెంట్ ఇచ్చేది అక్కడ స్టక్ అయిందా మరి? ఓన్లీ హెడ్ కనబడుతుంది. ఏమడుతుంది? హెడ్ మూమెంట్ కూడా లేదు అక్కడ, బ్రేక్ అయినట్టుంది కదా, డౌట్ వస్తుంది. జస్ట్ వెయిట్ మై డియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్. ఇది మూవ్ అయితే ఇది మూవ్ అవుతుంది అంటే అది కనబడదా? నా ఫేస్ పెట్టినా కనబడ్డాడు, అందుకే కనబడ్డది అది. వాళ్ళకంతే ఫేస్ కనబడదు. Yes, this is action. Okay, dear students, what is that? We see that it is volcanic eruption. See the figure of volcano. Volcanoes, what is meant by a volcano? Volcanoes are the place on Earth's surface. It is a place on Earth's surface where the molten material from the mantle erupts on the Earth's surface. Instead, we have seen that there are three layers, that is crust, mantle, core, right? The crust part, below the crust part there is a mantle. Mantle is in a liquid status, molten status. There is high temperatures, right? So that high temperatures and the material which is present in the mantle will be semi-liquid form, that is molten form, and the stream also present there, right? So all that, that is stream, submit materials, then the compressional force, high temperatures, which is at magma chamber that erupts out from the great depth instant. So that we see that the smoke, ash, dust, this spreads into atmosphere. For many kilometers we see in the atmosphere there is a ash spread out, smoke spread out, dust also spread out instant. And these when it reaches to the Earth's surface, there is a lot of difference in the temperature, right? At a mantle, the temperature is high, whereas at Earth's surface, we experience some 20 to 30 degrees centigrade. But whereas in the mantle, it is some 1000 degrees centigrade temperature. So that with that temperature, the liquid and semi-liquid and the material which is a substance components which are present in the mantle erupted out. So this erupted material after reaching the Earth's surface becomes cool and forms the igneous rocks, because these can generate fire, so that these are called igneous rocks. Okay, by the volcanic eruption, what kind of rocks are formed? Those are igneous rocks. Understand? So igneous rocks are formed by the volcanic eruptions. Understand? Sometimes what happens, when volcanic eruption is taking place, where the force of the lava is not too high, then the lava may not reach the earth's surface, and it becomes cool under the surface. Under the surface, in the sense below the earth's surface. Okay, earth consists of different layers, right? So in the crust part, we find several layers which filled with rocks. So under the earth, we see that this earth crust. My dear, see students, look at the figure 2.2. You will find here different layers are there. What to call your earth crust part. Understand? So under the earth crust, we see that when lava is not able to come to the earth's surface, may reach under the layers of the earth crust, there only it becomes cool, and there it forms some rocks, and these rocks never appear outside. They will be under the crust only, and such landforms are called intrusive landforms. Understand? What we call intrusive landforms, because what is by intrusive landforms which formed under the earth crust is called intrusive landforms. Understand? So the lava not able to reach the earth's surface, so that the lava under the earth crust only turn to cold, and their rocks are formed. So those are called intrusive landforms. Understand? And these are covered with old rocks, and sometimes they are exposed due to the what you call erosion of the covering rocks. Have you seen that when uh, the people go on digging out the earth's surface for the purpose of constructing the projects or maybe the buildings, huh? We see that some rocks are appearing out there, right? So the way these rocks only what appears out, those rocks are formed by the lava unable to come to the earth's surface. So such are called intrusive landforms. Okay. In the course of time, when wind and water flowing from the earth's surface will go on cutting the top layer of the crust part. So the soil, which is the topmost layer, fine and fertile part of this crust, when it is eroded by flowing water, blowing wind, then we see that the intrusive rocks which are under the crust part will appear outside. Okay, so sometimes they may appear outside instead. So what I want to say here, there are two movements in the plates. One is a slow movement, another is a sudden movement. Up to now, what we studied, my dear students, I am giving the some main points. One, we have seen slow movement. Slow movement in the sense the plates when they collide, there would be formation of the new crust or destruction of the old crust. In that process, folded mountains will form. Example is that Himalayan mountains which formed at the north part of India, that we have seen with the slow movements and sudden movements. External movements in the sense what? Due to high temperature, magma which is in the mantle suddenly erupts out, and as it reaches the earth's surface, we'll see there a blast on earth's surface, creating what you call a liquid, ash, dust, smoke into the air, and turning to solid form, forming like a cone shape there. That is called volcanoes. So volcanoes are formed by the sudden eruption, right? Sometimes these it may lead to the volcanic formation, or it may lead to earthquakes also. Understand? When the intensity is high at a mantle, due to that we see that there will be movement in the plates. Suddenly the plate starts to movement, then it leads to what? Earthquakes. Understand? How it is that in the next we'll see in detail how the earthquakes takes place. Understand? So here we see that there the mountain material, uh, which is accompanied with stream in the winds, water, boiled water, smoke, and various forms of gases. Okay, different gases also will present in the magma chamber. Okay, and other materials also present here. We have studied, right? What to call silicates, uh, then nickel, iron, like these components are present there, right? So all that components, due to the pressure, will erupt out suddenly, that lead to forming volcanoes instead. So sometimes another is that the lava may not reach the earth's surface as it is not with high intensity, that leading to intrusive landforms. So what are intrusive landforms? Landforms which formed under the crust. Okay, when lava reaches to the lower layers of the earth crust, there only it becomes cool and forms a rock layer that is called intrusive landforms. Okay, when it comes out, there would be formation of volcanic mountains, that what you call igneous rocks. Look at my dear students here. One is given figure 2.3, which is a Stromboli volcano. It is a Stromboli volcano, most active volcano in the world. It is located in the Mediterranean Sea, right? Always, it is an active volcano. Volcanoes are classified based on its eruption. So when a volcano erupts frequently, that is to be called active volcano. So Stromboli is an active volcano. Understand? Every time we see eruptions taking place at Stromboli. So when eruption takes place, we see that much of the fire and lava erupts out, and it appears like a light in the Mediterranean Sea from far, so that we call Stromboli volcano as a lighthouse of Mediterranean Sea. Instead, as it appears like a light in the Mediterranean Sea, we call it is a lighthouse of Mediterranean Sea. Which one? Stromboli volcano, instead, which is present in the Mediterranean Sea. Look at the figure 2.3. And there are some more important volcanoes present in the world are given in the table. You need to identify this going through the atlas. Okay, how to identify using the latitudes and longitudes, right? Stromboli, it is in Sicily, my dear students. Sicily is island in the Mediterranean Sea. Then Mount Plea, this is in West Indies. Where is West Indies? It is to the south of the America, right? Then Mount Vesuvius, it is also present in Mediterranean Sea at Italy. Then Mount Fusiyama, it is in Japan. Okay, Cotopaxi, it is at Ecuador. Then Mayon, it is in Philippines of Asia. Barren and Narcondam present in Andaman Nicobar Islands of India. Then Kilimanjaro, it is one active volcano present at Tanzania in African continent. Okay, these are active volcanoes present in the world. Okay, and we see that was a part of lava which reaches the Earth's surface. Coming to the point, intrusive landforms have formed that we have seen, right? So sometimes some lava may reach the Earth's surface very slowly. After reaching the Earth's surface, it flows parallel to the Earth's surface. Understand? When you pour some water on the floor, what do you see? The water moves parallel to the Earth's surface. In the same way, lava which erupts from many fissures. What do you mean by fissures? The cracks which we see, number of cracks present what to call on Earth surface at the crust form. Stuck it's not for you student, just wait. కనబడదు అట్లే ఉంటుంది మరి స్క్రీన్ ఆఫ్ చేసుకుని సార్ అన్నాడు కదా okay, my dear students, now coming to the point here. So the lava which comes from different holes, from different places, that as it does not come with a high force, the force is less, it will not erupt into the air. So what happens? The force is low. As the force is low, then it flows parallel to the Earth's surface. Understand? And that leads to forming lava plateaus. Understand? Lava is the material uh, erupted from the mantle, right? It was very hot. So it is very hot coming from the mantle. When it reaches to the Earth's surface, it becomes cool and turns to solid form, right? How it reached? It reached to Earth's surface by different fissures, by different, by what you call, by number of fissures. It's not one. I will give one example to understand you this one. Let's take a bottle, my dear students. Make a hole. What do you see? You will see that water coming out from the bottle with a lot of pressure, right? It goes to some far distance. If you make just wait. Screen has gone right. So it is what to call, when if you make some 5 6 holes to the bottle, what do you see? You will see that the pressure of the water decreases. Instead of go coming out water coming out from the bottle to a great distance, it slowly touches the bottle surface and falls there only, right? Because the pressure is not there. One thing is pressure is not there. Second thing is that there are many fissures, there are many holes we make to the bottle. Similarly, on the earth crust, when number of fissures appears, then from all those fissures, the lava comes very slowly out and flows parallel to that surface and forms lava plateau. Our Telangana lies on Deccan Plateau, and this Deccan Plateau has formed in the same manner, right? So where do we find Deccan Plateau? Deccan Plateau is on Earth's surface. So it is under extrusive landforms. What we call extrusive. As it is formed on Earth's surface, it is called extrusive landform. Okay. So Deccan Plateau is an example for extrusive landform. Okay. So what we have seen here, intrusive landforms, extrusive landforms. Intrusive landforms which are under the crust. Okay, when lava does not come to the earth's surface, then it forms, it stays in the layers of the earth crust. There it becomes cool and forms a rock. That is intrusive landform, right? When lava comes off the earth's surface, comes out onto the earth's surface and forms plateaus that is called extensive landforms instead. So next, here, dear students, we have just 80 minutes of time. So what? Just giving the gist again. So what we have seen here, we have seen the drama at the margin. This is what is by drama at the margin? When the two plates collide, then in that one plate goes into the mantle. When that plate goes into the mantle, then the on the plate crust is there. The crust on the plate which is going into the mantle will turn to molten form, right? Then the crust which is destructed there becomes the part of the mantle. Molten liquid material, molten form of material from the mantle also comes out from the same place. As it comes out, it becomes cool and forms a new crust. So by the slow movement, we see formation and destruction of the new crust. And the sediments which are coming out from the mantle will get folded and turns to forming mountains. As the mountains formed by taking foldings, that is called folded mountains. In that process, Himalayan mountains have formed. There are many folded mountains in our world. In lower class, you said Rocky Mountains are there, Andes Mountains are there, right? Then what you call Atacama, not Atacama, what you call Dragonbergs, like these folded mountains are there, right? Himalayan mountains are folded mountains that we have seen. It is slow movement. When it is sudden movement takes place, what we'll see? By sudden movement, we see that volcanic eruptions takes place, right? Sudden movement in the sense suddenly lava erupts out from the mantle with a great force, and dirt comes out into the air and there it spreads. What are the materials comes out? Dust, smoke, ash, stream, right? This and other components which are present in the mantle comes out and forms the water volcanic volcanic mountains and which are igneous rocks. So by sudden movement, what is forming? Igneous rocks are forming. When sudden movement takes place, we see some part of a lava may not reach the earth's surface. Under the layers only it becomes cool and forms their rocks. That is called intrusive landforms. Some part of lava may reach the earth's surface, right? And that leading to the formation of plateaus. Deccan Plateau is an example. It is extrusive landform. What do you call extrusive landforms? There are many active volcanoes in our world. Some are given in the table, right? Here, Stromboli is active volcano in the Mediterranean Sea. Then what are active volcanoes in our India? Barren and Narcondam. These are active volcanoes in our India. Understand? So we have seen extrusive, intrusive landforms. Next, small topic is there. We'll try to complete in 4 minutes. Okay, that is a Pacific Ring of Fire. Right, dear students, can you observe this world map? It is different world map. Generally in the world map you will find to the west side North America and South America, and at east you will find Europe, Asia, Australia. But it is different. At the west side it is shown Asia, Australia, Europe, and at the east side is shown North America and South America. This is the map uh, shown for you to understand that there is Pacific plate. Understand? This is the red line. What wherever you see the dots, this is completely Pacific plate. Pacific plate is one major plate, and this plate is colliding with Indo-Australian plate, Eurasian plate, North American plate, and South American plate, right? So when Pacific plate moves, then it may touch to all the plates, which just now what I stated, right? So there we'll see that due to the movements of this Pacific plate colliding with all these plates which are surrounded to the Pacific plate, there would be from the mantle material coming out, understand, and that leads to formation of the what to call new part of the crust, and especially earthquakes takes place in this region. Most of the earthquakes we find at the boundaries of Pacific ocean, right? So the Pacific, this is called Pacific Ring of Fire. Why do we call this Pacific Ring of Fire? Because near about three-fourths of all active volcanoes are present in the world are at the boundary or edge of the Pacific Ocean. This is called the Pacific Ring of Fire, my dear students. Understand? In other words, we call it is the Pacific Rim. What do you call? Pacific Rim. So, for many decades, the geologists noted that many earthquakes taking place at the Pacific boundary, and they identified that it is because of the plate movement, that is a plate tectonic movement leading to the formation of the many earthquakes at the Pacific Ring of Fire. So, my dear students, you have to draw this in your classwork and draw a line like this and write that it is Pacific Ring of Fire. This is a homework for you, home assignment for you. Okay. Then next is that another is that these are the another home assignment is that this active volcanoes, identify where they are situated. Okay, there you draw a triangle and write it is a Fusiyama. Understand? Okay, so I'm going to conclude. Just 1 minute is there. Okay, thank you very much.